Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're going to be going over a 2021 Chevy Camaro SS Redline Edition. But first and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Chevy here in Murray for giving me some time with this Camaro. Check out their inventory in the link below. Let's get straight into the video. So under the hood of this Redline Edition, we have a naturally aspirated 6.2 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 16 around town and then 26 on the highway, with power outputs being 455 horsepower and then 455 pound-feet of torque. Let's go over the front end of this Redline Edition. So first off, I absolutely love the venting here on the hood. Definitely makes it look a whole lot more aggressive, and it's a nice contrast to all of the white paint that this particular one is finished in. And if you're wondering, the color is called Summit White. And then coming just down below, we do get these full LED lights with the LED accent lights, and the accent light kind of continues all the way through. A little bit controversial with the Camaro, but I think it's pretty good looking. Got the little SS badge so everyone knows that you got the V8 under the hood, and then you have the blacked out Chevy bow tie. And then just notice how far this little front splitter comes out, and they did make it body painted. I think that was kind of interesting. I think it would have looked a little bit better if it was finished in black, because then it would contrast all of the white paint that this particular car has. But yeah, other than that, that is the front end on the Camaro. Coming around the side here, we've got two 45mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front, and then the rear is also 20-inch for the wheel, but it's two 75mm for the tires, so a little bit wider tire. And then notice you've got the red accenting there on the wheel, and you guys probably can't see it from here, but you also do get a red brake caliper. Now, the red brake caliper is not part of the Redline package. That's just another piece of optional equipment this has. And then you got the Camaro logo with the red outlining on it. Full blacked out mirrors, which I think contrasts nicely to the white paint, and there's your full side view. Oh mama. Pop into the rear of the Camaro. So first off, the opening here for the trunk isn't the largest, so just kind of take that into account. But actually popping here into the back, once you get into the trunk area, it's actually a pretty decent size, especially for a muscle car. There is some extra storage just underneath this little area, but other than that, there's the trunk. Let's not spend too much time on that because, well, it's a muscle car. Go over the rest of the rear of the Redline Edition. So first off, we've got this blacked out spoiler on the back, which I think looks really good, nicely contrasts the rest of the car. And then I love how the taillights look when they're off. When they're on, it's just regular like red LEDs, but when they're off, it's just like this beautiful like white and black contrast with the taillights. And you can see that they put a little piece of like vinyl right there in between under the Chevy logo, which I just think, yeah, that just looks cool overall. It kind of looks like a masked bandit here from the back end, like the Legend of Zorro or something like that. Yeah, I know that's my dog's name. But anyways, the taillights. Coming down below, we do have the parking sensors, and then we've got the exhaust tips. And yes, the exhaust sounds fantastic. You guys will hear it again in a moment. But that is the back end. Let's go over the front door panel on the Camaro Redline Edition. So first off, we got this really nice soft touch leather here at the top portion, and then just down here as well. And then we've added some red leather as part of this Redline package. And we've got the window controls, the mirror adjustments. You've got your memory seat functions, your door lock and unlock. And then this does come with the Bose sound system. You got a little Camaro plaque right here. But before we go over the front seats, let's go over the back seats. Now, before we actually go over the back seats, it's pretty interesting what they've done with the seat belt. You can see that it's connected down here so that it's easier to reach for the driver, and you don't have to have like the loop thing. But anyways, here on the back, there actually is a little wireless phone charger right there for the car. It's back behind, which is kind of interesting. And then as for the seats, you've got nice perforated leather here. You've got kind of like the gray accenting with the red seat belts that are also part of the Redline package. But yeah, really nice materials. It's just that there's no room. Like the headroom, pretty much non-existent. Legroom, also pretty much non-existent. So reserve this for kids, or yeah, pretty much that's about it. So yeah, that's the back seats. Now, as for the front seats, you can see that you've got the Alcantara there in the center. You've got the leather on the outside. They are Recaro seats for the front, hence the Recaro badge right there. Really nice bolsters here at the seats. You can see the bolsters are pretty large, but it's not hard to get in and out of them. And then we do have the power adjustments there on the side of the seat. Again, red seat belt. And then the pedals, they actually look really cool there at the bottom portion. And then you got this for the little heads up display. Sorry about the sun getting in there. You got your info. And then for the steering wheel, it is manually adjustable. And there's one more look before we actually pop in. Now here's the steering wheel in the SS Redline edition. So you've got the soft touch at the top and at the bottom with the little SS logo, and then perforated leather on either side. We're actually going to grab the steering wheel so you get a pretty good grip on it. And then you can see you've got the paddle shifters there on the back of the steering wheel to go through that 10-speed automatic. And then we've got our phone controls, the controls for the center stack, cruise control over here. You've got your little heated steering wheel button, and then your collision assistance as well. And then you've got like your volume controls, and then that's for your favorites there for the radio. And then just behind you have the stock for the lights and the turn signal, and then on the other side you've got the windshield wiper stock, but that's the steering wheel. Now here for the gauges, we've got the RPMs on the left side. On the right side, you've got the speed, and then you have that screen there in the center that gives you a bunch of different information on the Camaro itself. You guys can see, you can scroll through all the different stuff. So like, for example, we can go to the performance, and you can see a bunch of different bits of information on the car itself, which, I don't know, nothing too crazy. You guys have probably seen this in a million other cars. This thing's pretty important though with the tire temperature. You want to make sure the tires are warmed up before you go like full throttle so that you don't end up in the side of a curb like a Mustang. But anyways, we do have some drive modes. Notice that we've got the snow and the ice, we've got the track, and then we got the sport and the touring. In the track and the sport, it'll open up the valves on the exhaust and it'll be louder, whereas in the touring, it'll close the valves and it'll be quieter. So I recommend probably driving in sport all the time so you can hear that beautiful exhaust. Now we do have the center screen here. So first off, we're going to pop it into reverse, and you just have a standard backup camera with trajectory lines. They do turn with the steering wheel. Resolution on the camera is really good. Sorry about the reflection right there. But other than that, response time on this touchscreen is really good. It has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. I lived with this touchscreen for like 5 months last year because I had a ZL1 1LE, same exact infotainment system. Absolutely loved it. I loved the ambient lighting too. There's like a million different colors to choose from. Since this one's the Redline package, we'll have it be red for the ambient lighting so it matches. So you guys can see we picked red, and now you can see right there we've got the red accent lighting, so it all matches. Now just down below, we've got all of our analog controls for the climate system. This does come with heated and ventilated seats, so even though you have their car seats, you still get heated and ventilated function on it, which is pretty nice. And then for the vents, this is actually for the temperature to raise and lower it. You actually spin the vent itself, which I think is pretty cool. Obviously it turns into on automatic mode and goes super loud. But yeah, I just love the fact that you like turn the vent itself to then change the temperature. I think that's a cool little feature. I know it's a little gimmicky, but I think it's cool. Here's the shifter for that 10-speed automatic. Again, you can manually shift the gears yourself if you want. And then you got nice stitching all throughout and the nice leather there at the top of the shifter. Just in this little area, we've got our stability control. This is for that drive mode select and then your parking brake. And then we do have a little 12-volt couple cup holders. And then that's for the center console, full leather at the top. Opening it up, decent amount of storage space. Definitely a little bit weird though with the opening. And again, it's weird the wireless phone charger's there in the back. And then coming over here, we've got more of the soft touch and stitching just up above the glove box. It's a regular glove box. There's nothing fancy about it. And then even on the edges, they've got the circular vents. So like all the vents in here are all circles, which I think is pretty neat. Up top here, we've got the light controls, regular black headliner, and then we do have a regular sunroof. And then as for the mirror, we do have the cool camera mirror system with this, which definitely helps out with the Camaro a ton, because I mean, you guys can see the visibility. So like, this is a game changer in the Camaro. We are in luck because the window sticker was like very, very lightly on the window, so I was able to pull it off for you guys. You can see again, 2021 Camaro 2 SS Coupe, and then again, you've got the colors, all that kind of stuff, transmission. Feel free to freeze the frame on any parts of this if you guys want to read all of these specific options this has. So that's all the standard equipment. And then we have the optional equipment. So you can see standard price, $42,500. And then you've got that Redline package, which is about $2,300. Again, feel free to freeze a frame. But after everything, you got the total vehicle price over there, $51,385. Let's take this Redline Camaro out and see how it drives. Now let's talk about visibility before we set off here in the Camaro Redline edition. So first off, visibility of the hood. It is a longer hood, so it definitely does take a second to get used to it. But once you get used to it, it's not too bad. And then hopefully you guys can see the heads-up display from here. And then there's your visibility through both of the mirrors, which, I mean, that's relatively okay. And then yes, visibility through the back is horrible. But again, you do have the camera mirror system, so that helps out a bunch. I mean, you guys can see hopefully Let's push this down. Yeah, you guys can see the difference. Like, it's a huge difference. And that all being said, let's set off. We are setting off here in the Camaro Redline Edition, and right now I'm in the touring mode, so this is going to be kind of like your daily driver mode, basically. And initially setting off, the thing I really like about this car is the steering definitely has quite a bit of feel in it, and it's heavier. I love when you've got like heavier steering racks. Now with the Camaro, depending on the drive mode, it'll kind of change things with the steering. I kind of remember that from my ZL1 1LE that I owned for like 4 or 5 months roughly. Definitely just, I love the steering on that, and this feels just as good. Maybe a little bit better though, because the front end on the SS is a little bit lighter. From a ride quality perspective, I mean, it's pretty good for like a muscle car. I mean, for like a regular daily driver car, it's definitely a little bit more on the rough side, but like for a muscle car, it's definitely more on the smooth side. So hopefully that kind of makes sense to you guys. And turning here, we'll see how the brakes are. Brakes are super solid. And again, yeah, just the steering is pretty direct. Not as direct as it is in like the sport mode or the track mode. But yeah, it just feels really good. I definitely like the steering, and I love the steering wheel size too. It's like the perfect size for like sporty and fun driving. But we're actually gonna pop it over into the sport mode. Valves will open up, it'll drop down a gear, and things get pretty sporty, but we've got to get through this slow zone before we can do anything exciting. So I'll see you guys in a second. We're in the manual mode, and I'm gonna go over these train tracks because I just want to see kind of how it does. Yeah, definitely a little bit bumpier, but it's not bad by any means. And let's get our acceleration here. Ooh, buddy. That sounds good. And hopefully you guys can hear the pops at the back. I hope that's coming through on the camera. It definitely makes these nice like pops and gargles out the exhaust when you let off. Oh, it sounds so good. I miss it. Yeah, such a good sounding exhaust. Definitely like, you can't go wrong with a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8. And the other thing that's funny is I've driven a couple of C8 Corvettes, and they've got the same engine. The C8 Corvette has more power, but I feel like the exhaust on the Camaro just sounds better compared to the exhaust on the C8 Corvette. It just, I don't know, this just kind of has like more of like a muscly sound to it. Definitely sounds good. Acceleration, I mean, guys, it's strong. 455 horsepower, and we're at about 4,500 feet elevation. It is more than enough from a power perspective, so there is no complaints from me with the power of this car. And this transmission does really good. So I loved this 10-speed automatic in my ZL1, and I wonder if this has the same function. Let me see. I'm going to upshift a gear, and I'm going to hold down. Yeah, it does. So this has the automatic downshifting, which I really loved in my ZL1 1LE. So basically what it does is if you hold down the minus paddle, it'll just automatically downshift into the lowest possible gear available. So like, especially for track driving, makes it so much better. Yeah, this thing just sounds so beautiful. Yeah, it's such a good sounding car. And before we sum things up, I'm just gonna wait at this red light. I'll get to you guys after that so we can get one more acceleration for you guys, because I'm sure you guys didn't watch a sports car video just to see one little acceleration. We are getting our last acceleration here in just a moment. Okay, as the old farts at another channel say, give her the beans. It sounds so good. Yeah, like I said, definitely missed that sound. But let's get into summing things up with this Redline package. So, first off, from an exterior aesthetics perspective, I like everything, like I said, except for the front splitter. I feel like it just, I don't know, I wish that it was blacked out instead of body painted, just to provide some contrast for the car. From the rest of the exterior aesthetics perspective though, I feel like it's a really good looking car. I feel like the Camaro's pretty good looking. I know some people aren't a huge fan of the new headlights, but I don't know, I don't think they're bad by any means. Interior, for a muscle car, I think it's right where it needs to be. You don't expect this to be a luxury car. It's got nice seats, it's got the AC function on them, everything, so it's good there. And then from a performance standpoint, I feel like the SS is more than enough power, and this is coming from someone who owned a ZL1. I feel like this is just a perfect amount of power where you can still have fun on the street and you're not constantly breaking the law. The thing with the ZL1 is like you floor it and you are at illegal speeds like just instantly, whereas this you can actually enjoy it. Now, should you get the 10-speed or should you get the manual? That's a good question. If you're going to daily drive this, I would say get the 10-speed. It shifts quicker than you can shift with the manual transmission. It's a really good automatic transmission. If this is kind of like a sidecar, which you're just having fun with, the manual has that auto blip function where it rev matches for you, so you don't even have to be a great manual transmission driver. It'll make you feel like a better driver than you are, basically. It'll be a more fun experience, a little bit slower, but you'll enjoy the car a lot more. So it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. But yeah, definitely the Camaro is still such a fun car, really good chassis, and with all the safety tech, it definitely gets, you know, it basically helps out with all the visibility issues that this car has. Now that is going to sum things up for our video on this 2021 Chevy Camaro SS Redline Edition. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Chevy here in Murray for giving me some time with this Camaro. Check out the inventory on the link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.